Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Democrat of New York, said Friday that her floor speech in response to a profanity-laced exchange with Representative Ted Yoho, a Republican of Florida, over the summer was designed to fight backlash women can face when responding to workplace abuse. I knew that the institution I was with probably wasn't going to give him a real consequence. I knew that our party probably wasn't going to censor him or really do anything to that degree, but I knew that I could publicly embarrass him and expose him for who he actually is to the world, Ocasio-Cortez said in an interview with Jane Fonda. What was important to me about that moment with Rep. Yoho this summer was that I wanted to change a norm where women are punished for pushing back against men who treat them poorly, she said. For some reason, the act of aggression is not the problem, but speaking up about it is. In July, a reporter for The Hill overheard an exchange in which Yoho told Ocasio-Cortez she was disgusting for recently suggesting that poverty and unemployment are driving a spike in crime in New York City during the coronavirus pandemic. You are out of your freaking mind, Yoho told her. Ocasio-Cortez shot back, telling Yoho he was being rude. After Ocasio-Cortez walked away, Yoho called her an effing B-word. So I'm really torn on, and I chose to not cover this when it happened because I am conflicted about it. And my conflict is that I agree you shouldn't insult the people you work with. It's really a shame when members of Congress act like internet trolls. That part of it, I do agree with her on as far as people shouldn't speak to each other in a non-civilized manner in the workplace. But remember, her workplace is in the United States House of Representatives, where, or rather at a time when you have a virus that's killed 200,000 people, 30,000 Americans off of their health insurance, or rather don't have health insurance, have been kicked off, 7 wars going on at the same time. I have the same problem with her making this a thing that continuously gets talked about over policy that I do with people who get upset with Trump for the mean tweets. Yes, certain things that these politicians say should not be said, but there are so many pressing issues that are occurring that are having actual impacts on someone's life, that it just kind of seems like it's a misdirecting of where people should be paying attention to something. Uh, so, for example, if someone calls me what they called her, and I actually have had people call me the B word online before, but if somebody calls me that, that's a lot less impactful to me as a person than being unemployed or not having health insurance or catching this virus. Those are all things that have a much greater level of consequence to me as an individual. So again, I don't believe he should have called her this, but I just don't think this story was really worth the attention it received. It should have been a thing that happened one day, and then she could have given her response, which she did in the House, and then that should have been the end of it. But because there's this weird over attention, just overrated attention being paid to her, any little dispute or incident she has gets magnified. If someone called Rokana a name, it wouldn't get covered, just like pretty much anything else that man does. Same thing with the other progressives, Jayapal, just any of the ones that aren't part of the squad, they get completely ignored. Hell, even the other members of the squad are ignored in favor of AOC, and it's just really sad. But whatever. People pay attention to words more than actions, and that's one of the biggest problems in the U.S. today.